And now a news update on the NCW Life channel.
Good evening, Wenatchee Valley. I'm Eric Granstrom in the NCW Life newsroom. We have breaking news here tonight of a warehouse fire in South Wenatchee. Multiple crews have responded to the fire this evening near the Senator George Zeller Bridge. And from what we could tell from those that are on the scene, it looks to be the Dalco packaging facility on the south end of Wenatchee. There was heavy black smoke that was rising from the flames with crews arriving on scene. This is video footage from a cell phone from one of our employees, Brandon Walls, who was down in the area, actually called me at home and said, hey, there's black smoke coming up. Where's it coming from? We've received multiple of messages via our Facebook page as well as through email asking where the smoke is coming from. And well, that's certainly the case here. You can see just on the left edge of the screen there, the smoke and flames visible from about a block away, half a block away, where Brandon was able to get this footage. Fire crews quickly arrived on scene. Now, Dalco Packaging is the leading manufacturer of polystyrene foam egg cartons in the United States. They also manufacture polystyrene mushroom tills, apple and pear trays, and food service containers. And of course, the egg industry heavily dependent upon Dalco here in the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington for their trays that they provide to the fruit packaging plants here in north central Washington. So here you see the early responders arriving on scene and applying the cannon water. This was just within the last hour. It was quite a sight for those that were trying to travel over the Senator George Zeller Bridge. This is near the west approach, and we'll get a map here for you in just a little bit to let you know where this is as we bring you this live coverage here on the NCW Life channel. Hello UPS, goodbye UPS, as well as on our Facebook page. So we appreciate you tuning in tonight. A lot of folks were wondering and curious about that. Of course, emergency crews and fire crews asking that you avoid this area if at all possible. Now this is within the last hour. I had a chance to drive past the scene on the way into the studio, and the flames had been knocked down pretty quickly by fire crews responding on the scene, but there's still heavy, thick black smoke appearing on the horizon down in the south end of Wenatchee. We were toned out here. We were toned out by the folks at Rivercom here in the, let's see, that would be the 7 o'clock hour. At about 7:18, we received a second alarm structure fire at Dalco Packaging at 1121 South Columbia in Wenatchee. As you see here with this satellite image, not necessarily seeing the south end where the, oh, just on the bottom of the screen there is what we are guessing as the building that was involved in this fire. Right there in the center of your screen, right on the E of Google. That's the building that we, from all indications, saw that was involved in this fire here, and that's part of the Dalco facility here on the south end of town. They did not stop traffic or back things up on South Wenatchee Avenue as you approach, or on Mission there, on South Mission, as you approach towards the Senator George Zeller Bridge. We could assume, though, that traffic was stopped in that vicinity on South Wenatchee Avenue because of fire crews responding to the scene, as that facility is right there on South Wenatchee Avenue, just as you get towards the underpass on the Senator George Zeller Bridge. Again, we have reports of this structure fire here this evening. These shots here via Sky-Fi from our tower cams, able to look in. I'm not sure if Caitlin was able to get the files transferred over. We had earlier shots that were available that we were able to capture off of the Sky-Fi tower cams, and this is more of the footage on the ground level from Brandon Walls. We appreciate him getting down and getting his cell phone out. As you see, very active fire in the area. Of course, one of our concerns immediately with that fire happening, what appeared to be at Dalco, was whether or not this would be impacted by, of course, styrofoam and the contents and chemicals that go into making styrofoam. Certainly could be toxic, and we wonder about the black smoke that was rising. But no evacuation notices have been given, just fire crews quickly responding to that blaze on South Wenatchee Avenue. Dalco Packaging, as we mentioned, the leading manufacturer of polystyrene foam egg cartons in the United States. Dalco supplies its products to some of the most recognizable names in the food industry. exceptional printing and custom design capabilities, just another way that they support these leading brands. And of course, very important in the fruit industry here in North Central Washington with their styrofoam, if you will, or polystyrene packaging trays that we use for packaging the apples and the pears and the peaches here throughout North Central Washington at some of our larger facilities. So we don't have any reports of any injuries at this point, but again, fire crews and emergency responders, of course, asking that you avoid that area of South Wenatchee Avenue. Again, this is in the 1100 block of South Wenatchee Avenue, just as you get near the Senator George Seller Bridge overpass here in South Wenatchee this evening. So quite a sight. As you can see, let's go back to the map real quick there, Caitlin, and show them again where this is. If you are familiar with Wenatchee at all, the south end of Wenatchee on South Wenatchee Avenue. You see the new cash and carry across the street there, and then there's the train park that's across the street, and that facility right there in the bottom of your screen where that large white roof that's under the E of Google. That particular image is the front portion of Dalco Packaging, and unfortunately I'm not too familiar with Dalco itself to know exactly what may have been in that structure. But again, fire on the back side of that structure, on the riverside, if you will, the east side of the structure here earlier this evening. Again, some still shots that were taken by Brandon Walls. We appreciate Brandon for going out there. We have Jay Seebeck also that is been down on the scene to capture some footage as well and see if he can get a word with fire crews. But this evening, it seems, unfortunately for the Wenatchee Valley here in the last several years, an all too common sight to have a warehouse fire of some sort. And here we go again with an apparent warehouse fire on the south end of Wenatchee for Dalco Packaging. Again, this is reported in the 7 o'clock hour, as we are about an hour or so later. That smoke that you see on those images right there has been knocked down quite a bit, and the fire that was seen very apparent from all throughout the Wenatchee Valley, lifting above those rooftops, has also been quieted down quite a bit. In fact, Caitlin, let's go back to the live image, if we can, from the PTZ camera there, from our Skyfi camera. You see the wigwag lights over to the left hand of the screen there, and not much smoke and no fire now present as you look at the traffic still going by on the Senator George Seller Bridge, Highway 285 here in the Wenatchee Valley. So that's good news, and we certainly appreciate the firefighters' efforts to get there very quickly to douse the flames of what is an apparent, again, warehouse fire. To repeat our story here this evening, an apparent warehouse fire started in, or reported in the 7 o'clock hour, went to a 2-alarm response immediately. And here you see the fire cannons, the water cannons being applied as the flames go high aloft, and thick black smoke. And that's what Brandon reported to me when he was driving down towards the south end of Wenatchee, seeing thick black smoke rising in the air, and what's on fire. And from the perspective of some folks, there was reports that came in that there was something happening up at the airport, there was something happening in the south end of Wenatchee. It definitely is the south end of Wenatchee there on Wenatchee Avenue in the 1100 block of South Wenatchee Avenue, in the building in the front part of the Dalco Packaging facility. They're right next and adjacent to the Senator George Seller Bridge. So again, 2-alarm blaze here this evening. No reports of evacuations because you know, one would wonder with the styrofoam packaging materials and the chemicals that go into manufacturing that styrofoam and those polystyrene trays, you know, kind of a tenuous situation there, but no evacuations reported. Fire crews quickly on the scene to douse those flames. So fingers crossed that that is the extent of it. Of course, now yet another of our facilities regarding the fruit industry suffering some heavy damage, it would appear, here this evening, just in time as we get into the full swing of apple harvest. So we cross our fingers for those that are in the packaging industry here in North Central Washington, that won't be too impactful. But again, fire this evening. Looks like it's been quickly responded to, and the smoke has definitely died out and the flames have died out, but fire crews will continue to do mop up, and of course the investigation continues, and we will have more coverage tomorrow morning right here on the NCW Life channel with Steve Hare on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And thanks to Jay Seebeck and Brandon Walls and Caitlin Hedersheet for coming in and getting us on the air here real quick on the NCW Life channel. Again, to repeat our top story, we had a fire earlier in the last hour and a half at the Dalco Packaging facility in South Wenatchee. Looks like fire crews have done a great job on getting that fire knocked down, and the smoke pretty much gone at this point here this evening. But again, we'll have more coverage tomorrow morning right here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Steve Hare and company on the NCW Life channel. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good evening.